Well, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Jay, and I'm coming to you from Cornerstone Church. And we are here today to do our Saturday Digging Deeper devotional. And we've been digging deeper into a mini-series that we've been doing for the last 3 weeks called Living the Dream. And we are now moving into week number 3. And this is Living the Dream part 13, I think. And as far as digging deeper devotionals go. And this is a series based off of Ephesians 5 and 6, in which we dig deeper into our current congregational sentence, which is our goal statement for 2025 and 2026. Let's take a look at that, shall we? Here's what the statement says. Awakened, empowered by love to transformed. Awakened by God's love and empowered by that love, we will transform our communities. In 2025 and 2026, we are going to foster an environment where our church is awakened to a deeper awareness of God's love. This will lead us to spend more and more time with Him, whether through reading His Word, seeking Him in prayer, or helping those in need within the wider community by using the gifts that God has given us. We will experience freedom, connection, support, and empowerment through our encounters with God. We will be a shining light in the region, radiating His supernatural power, healing, and hope. As we reach those in need, we will spread the message of Jesus and create a lasting positive difference in the communities we serve. So that was our congregational sentence. As I said, we've been working off of Ephesians chapter 5 and Ephesians chapter 6 primarily to deal with the 3 active words in that statement. Be awakened, be empowered, and be transformed. And currently we're talking about being transformed. And our proof texts for that idea of transformation are from Romans chapter 12, verse 2, and Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 18. So I just want to talk very briefly about Romans chapter 12, verse 2, which says, Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So do not be conformed to the patterns of the thinking of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. How are we transformed? By changing our mind. We become transformed beings when we change our mind. How do we change our mind? Well, this is where we talk about getting into the Word. It is the Word that changes how we think. The more of the Word we get into our brain, and not just by reading it and studying it, but by practicing it. You see, our minds change when we take ideas and turn them into practice. And so we've got to start living out the Word. For instance, when the Word says tithe, well, we don't just need to give a mental affirmation to tithing. We need to actually tithe. When the Word says love one another, we don't need to just give mental assent to loving one another. We need to actually practice being in loving relationship with one another. When the Word says be kind, we don't need to just give mental assent to kindness. We need to actually find kind acts to do. When the Word says pray for your enemies and bless those who despitefully use you, we don't need to just give mental assent to that and say, oh, that's probably a good idea. We need to actually take time in our daily prayer devotions to pray for the people that we are struggling with because they are enemies. And we need to take time to actually find practical ways to bless those people who hate us and who we are struggling to love. So we need to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. We need to think in kingdom ways. And can I tell you, the words of the Bible are almost diametrically opposed to the way that every one of us in this world have become accustomed to thinking. From how we spend our money, to how we spend our time, to who we spend that time with, the Word shows us a different way than we've ever learned before. So get into your Word and begin to transform your mind, because until your mind is transformed, you won't be transformed. Until the way you think changes, you won't change. So begin to change how you think and begin to change how you practice what you think. All right, until we meet again, God bless you and be at peace.